But, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think we have to rely on too much of that XP, right? It's a map like Vertigo where these two teams, yes, they're scrappy, but they can have a whole lot of fun on. In we go. It's already going to be a very quick A-take. Sluggy already took off, back over towards ramp. Same thing with Heretic, back in sandbags.
Yeah, he'll tuck away for a moment here, but up they come towards the ramp. It's Chippy, and is there utility to clear him? Only one Molly. It's on trash, but is he in the right position to use it?
Oh, Heretic again. Not revealed. And we're just looking for the scattered utility from these terrorist players. They're expending all of it. All the flashes, all the smokes. And Heretic, he has a line. I'm going to be able to get one. No way! He can't finish the flag!
What?
Heretic, come on! No way! Simply a tragedy. And now it's a 1-on-4, okay? Okay, I guess it works. Heretic is the only person to die. And hey, if he goes down with a little bit of a weird clip, I guess the rest of the team, they can kind of meme on him later.
What was that? What did we just watch? Heretic selling the bag, but his team, they went straight back to the market.
It was a distraction
they repurchased
for the
it. They brought it back.
specifically.
You know, they tried to distract this Heretic here as we take a look back. I mean, almost in a way, he bought time, he bought distraction, because that pinch came through. It was a peek from upper and then a wrap around that came just as he was distracting. So in completely flubbing his shots, he almost helped the team just a little bit. Box just doing him dirty, just doing him dirty. Can't do my mans like that as we do hop our way back on into this one. Drypeek investment, it will not be the best, but they got the bomb on down, so you get a couple Galils out to work with. I'm sure more money we put on through. So it looks like timeout already going to be called.
And we can head back into it. I did at least like Heretic's Daycare and kind of that flow chart away from that ramp side. The amount of utility that they actually had off of that CT side was actually remarkably low. Didn't have too much off of it, but even then they were able to delay a lot of time trying to get those early rotations. They're going to need a whole lot more though, a whole lot more effort. Deep down in ramp, they have one Molly covering up construction. Gank has ran into it. But the rest of Drypeek, they're trying to attempt a bit of a default. The players over towards mid, they're going to have a lot of free space.
A lot of free space indeed, but where do they want to take this one? That lurk out towards mid that you mentioned, Chippy's not aware of the space he has, but over towards the ramp, Heretic creeping forward. No one watching for this angle, and he has support. The flash is good, but he's dropped straight below Gank. Able to find the frag, and he turns around as well. I'm useless trash to help out. This round being turned on its head. Still Tatum fighting out towards mid. He brings the odds just a little bit closer. Is in the 2 versus 3. It's on the CTs. Tasked with the retake.
Oh, Tatum started off right with a bit of a burst, but he actually misses out on the opportunity in the back line. And useless trash. He ends up getting the big frag at the very end. He's down to 17 HP. Out goes Tatum, still down to 47, but he gets the kill finally onto L1. These last 2 players back over towards ramp. Tatum does have a smoke and a molly to try to place down. But he simply did not know where Gank's position was, and Gank finds him before the smoke blooms. And just like that, Drypeek is already back in this game.
Back in the win column, straight off the bat there. Force buy comes to success, and the guns will be bought back through. As we did miss out on those picks and bans, as the players did in the server, we can give you folks a little update on that. Drypeek, they got rid of Ancient. Heretic spanning out Dust 2. Drypeek taking us to Vertigo, so their choice. Heretics will send us to Nuke is map number 2. And should we need it, Mirage is that decider. But Heretics are going to need something special in this round, because it's just the Deagles to work with, and certainly fight out towards the ramp.
Drypeek, they like their Vertigos. Played at least 2 of them yesterday, or throughout this stage.
Vertiglobals, would you say? What would you call a tournament team that is only going for the Vertigo?
That only goes Vertigo. Verta nerds, because I really don't know anyone that actually likes Vertigo. So at this point, Sluggy, a bit of a nerd himself. Nurch, off that off angle, trying to get actually a bit of a gap back up towards ramp, but wasn't actually able to find more than 1 kill. Isaac and Drew gonna at least close out the round. They do at least have Deagles. Here we go. Drew picks up the first one. He's onto useless trash. You have to watch out for the 2 players back over towards construction. They're about to cross into the crosshair of Isaac. He's standing in the middle of his own smoke. Finally, out goes the players in construction. They have no idea he's here. Isaac emerges, but he can't get a kill. Drew now in the back line, trying to utilize the perimeter of the smoke to his advantage, but L1 ends up finding him anyways. So, okay, Drypeek. They do survive, but at what cost? 2 of their players go down. They only save up 2 of their rifles.
Yeah.
1 of the SMGs. it's not too deep of a situation considering the fact that their opponent's also forced.
Yeah, but the thing is, remember how Drypeek got those guns in the first place, right? They got them for free. It was recovered off of a round that they forced into a little bit. Wasn't the full investment, just a few galils. They run the round off that. Now, this should be an easy task. USP's on the rush. Whose job is it to hold? Chip B, 1, 2. How far can we count? Only up to 3. Not quite enough. Is the gun will get recovered, but that information already given. Chances rather low.
Well, this happens. More cash going back to the terrorist side, a terrorist side team that, again, haven't had too many opportunities to fully bolster up their economy, which just means more importance on saving up these last few guns, and indeed, it's going to be made a bit easier. Heretic actually drops down yet another gun. Sluggy is going to be left with nothing. So back in a pistol to potentially pick up back something up. But yeah, the CT approach we haven't seen too much of an example of, so not much to really comment on. But again, I am just looking out for kind of just the early approaches that we ended up seeing yesterday. Tatum was being a bit of a nuisance back over towards that A site. Sluggy was playing a bit more of a lurker position back over towards that mid side, and he was also cutting off a lot of good plays. We'll see if that trend continues. Again, Drypeek going back on yet another buy round in the CT side. They finally have something constant.
Finally something constant to start to work with here. Now my question is, where is Drypeek going to start to take this one? In their previous games on this map, they put a lot of pressure over towards the say ramp, as really everyone starts to do, but the lurks out towards mid, those found success in time. Still, this one is fast. Heretic tries to contest Sluggy as well, going for something, but the util's good to draw him away, but regardless of that, there's still one man close on the ramp. He can make himself a risk factor, but instead, it's Drew in the hot seat up towards mid. He's attempting to run away, but L1 just runs him down. Drew still alive, though. It was his teammate instead. Heretic to fall to sacrificial lamb to find the round. Maybe sacrifice might not be enough. Do you believe in magic? Maybe just. As we find ourselves back to a 3 versus 3 still. Ramp, the only real control for these T's. They're trying to pitch forward past it, but both Tatum and Sluggy find their frags. And now I'm useless trash has to prove that he's something more, but the flash, it's just excellent to double dink from Reigns, and a second round for Heretics.
Well won, but you could see the attempts early on from Drypeek. The onslaught of utility back over and ramp actually did make the space that they wanted. In all honesty, Heretic's Daycare, they maintain that same 4-man setup back over towards A, or they don't maintain that same 4-man stack. You could have seen a definitely different scenario, I would like to think, but still that mid-attention is one that we have to continue to look out for. The fact that Drew Zera, again, he did commit a bit more back over towards A, gave way too much space back over towards Drypeek. A bit more utility back over towards mid, it would make that a whole lot safer, would just lead that over towards an easy B take. So again, hopefully we can't rely on that one-off play. Again, we're still off that tactical pause, a well-taken tactical pause at that. As again, Drypeek,
I have something to tell you. I want you to sit down in your Mythics chair for this.
I'm sitting down.
I think it's a technical pause.
Oh no, not again.
I think it's a technical pause.
Not
Mickey
another
Mouse.
technical.
What's he doing here?
What's the mouse doing? We're gonna comment on shirts.
Shirt
comment on
commentary?
fashion. What's
Is
the drip?
This just becomes a
drip
fashion
check?
throw. Get some like some nice music. Have the players strut on down the stage.
You mentioned the shirt. We haven't really talked about like drip period on this broadcast.
Honestly, I'm a fan of the shirt you got. A little bit of drip action.
Thank you.
I don't know.
Thank you.
I don't
It's
know
a
if the
Keith
viewers
Haring
remember
piece.
it.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Looks
very
like
cool. It's very cool.
looks like something that like would be on the page of a children's book, but made cool, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But like
yeah.
now it's cool because like the
Very good
colors are
art.
gone, so it's black
It's
and
an
white.
artist
So
back
it's
in the
epic.
It's good stuff.
You know what's epic? Heretic on the op when he's not 1-5. We've seen some spaghetti spilling plays out of this man nice and early on, but now he looks to do more. That nade though, fantastic damage found, but Heretic doesn't care. It's an op. He'll stay posted on that line. It's the ramp. That'll be contested. Actually, pretty good spray there on the Sluggy. Ken's manages to finish it on out, but for their spray, and it's Tatum to let the rain down on his own. However, Ken's won't that get past him as the trades keep advantage towards this T side.
The redistribution of utility for these T players to try to get back into this site again. The CTs actually do have the right manpower here. 2 players trying to hold up, but Heretic's already down to 23 HP just through the shots, through the wall, and Isaac's gone. The whole hold is done. Drew Zera coming up from behind off that flank. Yeah, he's able to get 1 kill off a gank, but that just might be the extent of the damage, depending on how these Ts actually want to play this. They're still playing around him. They're still giving Drew the benefit of the doubt. Ken's around the corner with just about 20 HP. He's the one that could get cut off, but again, bomb. So back over the Words ramp, and they do have that flank up with Chippy. Good win, good patient win back for the Ts. And again, we were just worried about that bomb back in round.
T's now taking their way back in towards control, as you say here. It's actually put the economy for Heretics in a pretty rough spot. You could consider trying to force onto the Deagles here as that loss bonus starts to grow, but I imagine we just see the later weaponry held on to. Thank you for the specifics there. I think it's on the HUD too, so we get some double dippage on the chippage. As the push, well, that's not feeling quite as good. L1, he'll take down 3. Oh, just fine in the 4th. With 45 HP, it's the Glock needed to finish the ace, and he can't do it. Players getting a little excited about that one as Tatum recovers an AK. Likely just looks to deal some more damage on his way into the next life. And damage, he'll find it. Second frag already picked on up. This is a good situation to be in. But Chippy, he's got it locked down.
Oh,
what?
Tatum!
He can go for this now. It's a 1 versus 2. No kid, though. No kid, he's far away.
Far away.
There was a moment, though.
But this, I don't care. I don't care, honestly.
Didn't care.
Didn't ask. Plus GG. Nice, nice. Fist bump. Fist bumps, team. Yeah, Tatum doesn't care. He's going to continue to get exits. Are you kidding me? I was about to say, this situation was already, like, pretty bad for Drypeek.
And, I mean, look how vulnerable their economy is.
Yeah.
It was already down pretty low.
It's one round. One round, they lose. That ends up becoming a bit of a half-buy, bit of a force buy. We'll see Petri dish buy, essentially, if they end up losing out the next round. But, yeah, L1 still has just about 10K. It puts a dent into it, and that's really all that matters. Because, look, the deficit's already deep. You could only get deeper. It
can only get deeper, indeed. You know what's really screwing with my mind? We have, like, a bunch of people just in here playing games, right? Most of the frag guys have cleared out, but some of them are still here just playing 10-mans. And I keep hearing the pop-offs and thinking it's on stage. I'm like, wow, that was a crazy eco kill with the USP. I'm so glad that they like made the venue shake.
That was a wild USP.
Heretic, he's going to make the world shake under the hands of his saw. But he gets a second as well. No, that's Sluggy instead. Excuse me. To pick up a frag there onto Ken. So this advantage stays strong with the CTs, and despite the damage taken towards the side of Drypeek, they would have to Drypeek if they want to keep going up this ramp, and straight into the op of Heretic, a risky maneuver if you want to pull it off. Instead, I think the destination is over towards the stairs here, L1. That's a lot of damage. He'll stay alive, sustain for the moment, but space, that's the issue. Nade, try and go for the slam dunk, but it's not basketball, baby. It's CS going. It's about the gunplay here. Chippy now for the 1 versus 3, and that shot's good. Nice to start it off. Where's the bomb? On his back. You don't get planted unless that's a piece of util to deny, and the molly won't be on the scene in time as Chippy. He has a situation here that's winnable, with the shots seem to be clean. He needs to isolate a duel, and that's exactly what he's going for. Remember, though, a backstab is coming, and Drew won't give it the time. Cuts it off towards the spawn side. It puts Heretics now up to 3.
There you go. They have to continue to mount. I want to continue to keep going. Their economy's still very much in a fragile spot. Drypeek. Look at them. They can continue to go forward that last round again. You have to just rely on some of the one-off plays, but also Heretic's Daycare playing that one a little bit more aggressively than we've actually anticipated. But I think that realistically just comes down to the bit of a change of utility. At least over in this round, they do go back to their old normal. 3 players back up towards the A side. They are pushing deeper back up towards construction. The off is sitting around again. Right of the perimeter. Tatum's going to be able to get one. Heretic actually helps out with a bit of utility, but that's just about it. Heretic's Daycare is going to back out of this situation with a man advantage.
Aren't they well? Ken's now posted up towards the ramp side. Sluggy works on this re-rotation. L1 out towards mid, but Heretic again. He's found himself a gap, but he's not going to get toasted. Still, the information there is good, because if that smoke properly covers the cross, then the CTs have to be wary of something out towards mid. Not in this round, though. Re-rotation underway. This time it's over towards the ramp side. This hit should just be out towards A.
Utility slowly going out for these T players, and again, you can start to see it start to dwindle for really both of these teams.
That's cheeky.
The one-way is pretty good, but I think they do have the right utility to try to clear this up. And indeed, they do. Sluggy spraying away on the top of the smoke, but he's not able to find anything. Instead, the team players, they do have a red carpet right into the middle of sight. That's a no-scope through the smoke from Heretic.
What?
It just launches out the shot. That's RNG for you, but it helps. 3v5 now, and the situation is made just a bit worse for Drypeek, and now it's even worse. Druzero with a 2K. Ken's now the last one remaining in a 1v5. And he drops down into sandbags where he's isolated in the island. 4 players survive at the end for the CTs. Things were looking quite dire for this team just about 5 minutes ago, but now they're up good.
I'm so confused where that kill came from. Because I think he was deep CT spawn.
I don't know.
Straight through the sight smoke and found the cross onto the player close behind the boot. That is a crazy one.
That's
I mean,
spam
something up
and a
there.
half.
Someone's changing the numbers a little bit. Things are getting funky, but Heretics, it's a round they'll take. And as you were kind of prefacing earlier, the money's in a rougher spot for Drypeek. Their loss bonus is not built much whatsoever. And they're going to be down to a reset. Only one rifle to work with, but they're taking this one so fast up towards the ramp. I think it is just for that initial control, right? You go fast, take the spacing, then reset. Try and
get your
slow down. Hope someone will over-aggress and give your 8K a kill. That's L1 who needs to do the job.
They take up the position too because they just want to put on utility into the middle of this site. Heretic's Daycare. A bit closer though. They've actually given up a whole lot of that space that they could have been able to at least monitor. These pistols just getting wrong out dry, and here we go. One rifle around the corner. Heretic with that AWP going to be able to take down 2. Sluggy's there to help too. Tatum back over in construction. Can he make it one other round? Yes, he can. So there you go. Job well done. Only the op of Heretic actually dropped, but the trash talk is back, and so is Heretic's Daycare.
You know, it was a little quiet that last game. Both the teams were, I was sitting back in the prod room while that one was going on.
Drypeek literally did not react.
They didn't speak, ever.
For the 2 map wins that they won, they did not react.
They're just like stone cold criminals. Like, I remember we cut to the cams after they won the second map. They're just like, job's not done.
Vibing.
Job is not done. If they win this tournament, they're just going to be stoic.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of circuit points. Frag 16. We're on the road to it. Same thing with Winter Championships, brought to you by Nerd Street Gamers.
You're telling me a nerd was on this stream?
I know.
That's crazy.
Have you been to Nerd Street? Have you been to
I
North
have the
3rd
old
Street?
908 place. It used to be a local host, now it's just a studio. I guess not anymore because we got the block, but L1 probably falling all the way down to City Block as he tumbles off the mid pile, and the trades keep favoring these T's, but the spacing isn't the best for them. They have sight, but there's a flank coming through. Tatum, is he known about? Now he is. Great jump peek. The need to follow in the repeat. Good. Ken shuts it down, so now it's just Sluggy. The 1 versus 3. 2 players watching on his angle, but the HB, that's critical.
Okay, Sluggy. Letting this man try. He does have a molly, especially on this map. Clears up so much space. He's not going to be able to utilize it. L1 goes out immediately, and just like that, it's only going to be a 3-player surviving, and only that first contact. Heretic's Daycare down and out. They're cashed. They were looking good for a quick second, but they're actually going to force it out. Up going back in the hand of Heretic. Some of these players are not going to be able to buy up armor. Utility being wasted too. Drypeek, they're looking good finally as their economy is back into effect. This just might be the flip once again.
Might be the pivot point. It's what Heretics will need. The SOP for Heretic himself, it's been strong thus far this game. Found some good impact in a couple of these rounds, be it random or be it skillful. Both have been coming through as Drew. He'll post lower towards the stairs, but he's not getting fought. Instead, it's just that normal anchor position held by Chippy. As the bomb sits back, Chippy will re-rotate and try and start to work this space over towards the ramp. Still 1 player in that lurk out towards mid. It's L1 now. They'll come with the team. Just going to be hit over towards A, but Heretic has a good line. Sluggy sneaky as well. It's a strong setup to break.
Yeah, they do have that fast rotation back for Tatum. There's not going to be any noise back over towards mid. This is just going to have to be all hands on deck for this counter-terrorist team. They do have a bit of utility to use. You mentioned that first contact from Heretic. It's actually so good. Threads the needle on the right side of Tetris, but again, you do actually have to see the approach. Double smokes are finally going to go down in the middle of sight. Heretic can't actually find anything. It just launches out a shot through the smoke to see if he can find anything, and nothing's going to be there. The terrorists, again, this is what you expect off of Vertigo. This is the type of take you want. Totally free, but no, okay. That molly actually spreads out and takes down Gank, but through the smoke. How does Kens do that? How does Kens do that?
It's
That was
ridiculous.
3 kills through the smoke. He lined that up. I almost completely ignored it. I saw the 2 kills and I was like, yeah, no way he's going to be able to get another one off of that, right? But no, Drypeek, they make it look easy. They get their setup, they get their free real estate, and Heretic's Daycare, they've ran out of space.
The second he got this guy out, it's when he comes into the biggest form. Drypeek now 7-5. They're up on their T side of Vertigo. This is starting to look really good for the attacking squad. What's the reply for Heretics? Shouldn't be much. Just the pistols, couple deegs, USPs for the majority. 1 flashbang, pop flash ramp, try and push by 5, but the hold is here. It's Ken's posted with the op.
There you go. Gank's actually going to push out that situation instead, and there goes Isaac with the frag back. The op's not going to get dropped. Kens runs for the hills. That makes sense. Because the rest of the terrorist players, they have actually taken up the B site for first time? Second time, maybe?
I think the second, because we had that one round that was out through mid.
Yeah.
Where they thought everyone
through
that was a
mid.
kill off the berm.
Yeah, the first
Anyway,
time we've
come back
actually approached up the B site. But again, for good reason. We've seen so many just long,
I mean, they win
battles.
the ramp fight pretty much every round. This is the only time they've actually conceded ramp, and it's because they
It's
don't
free
kinda
control
they don't
every
want to get
time.
overran by the pistols. And there is still a risk to this round, but it all lies on Heretic. Where's he positioned? Back of the stack, and well, his teammates are just going to fall around him. Another man takes the plummet. As Heretic finds a frag with that timer. Look how far gone it is already. Damage, that's great, but around, that's not a possibility. Still Heretic will look to get more done. Is Kens
Heretic.
missing out on a couple crucial shots, but
Kens.
he'll just fall away. 4 kills, an AK, that's a win on this eco.
Yeah, Kens isn't. I don't think he's an opper, right?
I hope not.
Is Kens an opper?
Maybe he's true to his name, Tens. I mean, it's been a while since Tens has been in
God,
CS.
he's
Maybe
actually-
this is a reunion tour
Kens
that we
actually
didn't
is an
realize.
opper. Those shots make
He's
me
hitting
scared.
down. He's coming back. The king returns.
Kens, the brother of Tens.
Maybe.
Has to be.
maybe.
Has to be. No. But again, bygones be bygones. We can move on into this next round, and we can at least start to at least confide in the approach that we ended up seeing just 2 rounds ago from Drypeek. That was the first default back out of this game. We've seen scattered approaches.
I mean, the thing is, most of these rounds, right, that have been over towards the ramp, it has been their default, except their default on this map is
Their
just super
default
heavy
is
towards
that
the
stack.
ramp. Yeah, it is, because
And once they
throw
spread
3
out even
there.
more for a contact, like that ends up becoming
Yeah,
like
and they
just
put
iffy.
1 bottom stairs towards B, but that bottom stairs player doesn't stay the whole round. They actually rotate off really easily,
Yeah.
and then just leave 1 that normally falls back down ladder, and then they just group for that initial ramp hits. That's when you see those rounds with a lot of pace that you think, oh, they're gonna rush. It's just a quick hit to
It's
take that
always
ramp
that
space.
early attention that I
Yeah,
like.
and then you reset off it, and here we go again. See, they're taking
just
so much
noise.
space early on, and now they pump the brakes a little bit. Set up the utility for the rest to take. Molly out sandbags. I mean, this is fantastic pace to take this much map control.
The script goes the same again. Map control does point towards the side of the terrace, back over towards the ramp side, but you also have to look out back over towards mid. What is this? L1 sneaking his way forward. I don't think anyone is actually watching up that cross more than certainly. Oh no, Sluggy. It's actually a massive frag back over towards the ramp area. Is able to get it through that default, through the construction, and there's more terrorist players starting to fight it. But even then, the CT players are actually starting to wide swing out. Tatum has to find Kens. Kens still has that AWP and still has not been shot. He goes down to 81 HP, but no one from the CT side can actually get a trusty angle on this. And look at the utility now, only completely gone for the CT side alongside the T side. You do have a smoke and 2 more pieces back, but Sluggy again in the back of sight going to be able to punish onto Useless Trash. But off that off angle, you do have a crossfire. Tatum and Heretic, the 2 players in the back, has an insurance policy. And it works out just fine. L1, can he take the 1v4? Could certainly try. Takes down the first 2 in Heretic and Tatum. You still have 2 CT players in 2 completely different areas.
But it's a backstab. That's the main issue here. He needs to isolate the duel quickly against Drew. If he wins that, then this round opens up. The pivot, the favor, it almost swings towards him. A bait in, but Drew doesn't want to contest this. He just wants to wait. Isaac is the win condition here, unless L1 can take the fight to these CTs, but he's running out of time. Has to commit to the plant. The wrap is coming through. He calls the bluff, but it's not a bluff at the end. Lose is on out. A good attempt in the clutch, but Heretics, they find their way back in. Still remember, the last time we said that, the last time we thought they were building towards success, it was just 1 round.
It's just 1 single round. And in all reality, it's Only one more for the rest of this half to the CT side. Looking to make at least this this quote-unquote advantageous dynamic actually worth it. But look at this from the T side once again. What's the adjustments? We haven't seen any actual fight from Heretic's Daycare in the last few rounds back over in ramp. And indeed, they're giving it up once again. And this time, Drypeek, they're a lot safer. They're taking this a lot more disciplined of a fashion. Again, it's for good reason. They haven't spotted anyone, nor are they going to spot anyone for the next few seconds. Heretic alongside Tatum. They are holding up in the back line, though. The rotations are actually quite strong. I didn't even realize this. Sluggy is actually already here, back over towards A. You have two players back over towards the mid side, very much ready for this. The T side, they're not going to have an easy time making their way through, but if they can make their way through Heretic, it might be. Heretic takes down one, but the trade goes back. The M4s are still just around the corner, and Sluggy needs to hold out to at least one. There goes the AK back. Sluggy takes down two, and it's only going to be 2v2.
2 versus 2. Bomb yet to come down, but look how much time is on the clock. 50 seconds, and a smoke to clear it on. Out, good timing on the shot. L1 takes it down. So it's left to Druzera. A clutch to keep his team the momentum that they currently have, or even just to claim it in the first place. These rounds have been one-off upon one-off. It needs to be more than that. Can he get it done? Up towards the boost he'll go. Tucks in close is L1 on the angle.
L1. Just gonna keep on holding on to this until
He has it.
eventually pops out, but Drew goes out towards Tetris, and L1 misses out on his first shot, but won't miss out on the second. 9-6 going into the second half, and again, Drypeek. You just keep bombarding up that A site again and again and again and again. Almost every single round from that first half, which is centralized in that one location, but for good reason.
L1 is loser 1. I don't know. And then he hits the second one, right?
Loser 1 and
Loser
then
1.
W2 because he takes the W on the second shot.
Isn't that
and
a
loses out
tax
in the
form?
first.
What
Yeah,
if his
W2
name was
is a
after
tax
like
form.
a tax form? Yeah, you gotta file your L1 really quick
Can we
here.
not talk about taxes? That's just like, tax season
bet
is coming
chat
up. I'm
loves
starting to freak
taxes.
out. Like, yeah.
All right, well, I'm gonna freak out if Isaac can get more. Found one already. This is a quick exec out towards the B site. Flash is excellent, but Chippy swings. Still time. Isaac finding his impact. Chippy does more. Double. Now L1 on the scene. It stays 2 versus 2, but Tatum quick on this rotation. What's the util looking like? Not. Doesn't exist whatsoever. It's just a run and go with the Glock. And you cannot get it done. Drypeek. Double digits off the pistol.
Massive, and that was just Heretics going all out into play, and you can't really do much about it. Drypeek. That's the pistol, right? And on that pistol, you like to have those underhanded tactics, and a double hold mid is certainly not something that you expect.
No. And Bomb didn't come down. Look at the money. They're on a save here. This should be 11 for Drypeek, all but confirmed.
Certainly not going to lose out the Glocks, at least I hope. I think we've only seen like one full save route and actually go back, which is good. Which is good, because we've actually been seeing more of those recently, and oh no. The only invested pistol out of this side going up and getting a kill, the Deagle ringing out for their headshot onto L1, but as this happens, Gank, Chippy, alongside the trade back, works out for the side of the CT side. Now, does this actually work out for a bit of a fake, maybe? Heretic is all the way back over towards ramp, and the CT side, they actually don't have much of a control in the situation in the middle of site.
Drew should be dead. Ooh, that timing. He snuck past.
Easy
Has a
frag.
backstab. Go for the knife. Get the money. Go for the knife. Get the money.
Oh my god,
Come on,
jump.
Drew.
No, or don't.
Oh,
No, that sucks.
No! He fumbled it.
Oh my
He fumbled
god.
it.
Oh, good attempt, dude, but fumbled the straight up bag. You saw what he was doing, though. Like, you called it out. $1,000 would certainly help out the side, but yikes. Yikes. We got to move on. We got to move on. No, come on. We have to bring it back.
Dude, Bach is only replaying the whiffs. This is so weird.
No, we haven't seen, like, any, like, insane takes yet,
This
so
is
it's
so
like
sad.
the whiffs are going to be our highlights here at Frag.
It's always the fun moments.
Yeah, Drypeek are making a lot of these rounds look easy, so what can you really do?
With that nade, that can be chunky, is it? Nope, not at all. Instead, it's Isaac. Opens things up nice and strong. Takes down I'm Useless Trash, who, I suppose true to his name, has been having a rough start to this game. But don't feel like you're Useless Trash, because he's not. He's had impact with the utility. He's not. He's not. The name is mean to himself. I think he should change it. I mean,
He should change his name.
Rebrand incoming. What would you rebrand to if your name was currently I'm Useless
I
Trash?
think he just calls himself Trash. I mean, that's like, I don't know. That's like quirky. I think useless is just like, it's a bit extra. A bit too much. It's too much. Kens can certainly at least help out his fallen teammate. Here we go. Not going to be able to get anything. 2 players walk on by him in construction. No way they actually clear out that corner. That's crazy to me. 2-man advantage back for Heretics. It's kind of a rough situation for Game because he has to walk through so much utility. And he walks out into a dissipating smoke. 2 players have an eye on him. Chippy, now the last one remaining. And that's just it for this peak side. So, okay, not too bad for the T side. It was, once again, not so much a flashy play, but hopefully this doesn't become a trend because the CT players, they allowed themselves just out for those 1v1s early on again.
Yeah. I mean, that round really relied on Kens. They lose that initial man. He tucks in the off-angle, hopes for something. Yeah. Doesn't get it in the end. Rounds lost off of that. The site was taken quite swiftly. Yes, gun advantage was with Heretics. Still, keeping it flawless. It's something they can begin to build money, build momentum towards their favor. As I want to return to our topic. Once we know Chippy lives. He does not. Flawless for Heretics, but yeah, good save. I agree. I mean, the players are so helpful with their trash talk sometimes.
Yeah, that was a great call-out. Great save.
Indeed. You do love to see it, but we come back into action here. Drypeek should be just stuck down onto a full save here. Get weapons into the next. They do have money for. Yeah, they have already like barely money. So we get some deegs in. We do a little deeging.
We do a little deeging. They're the block. A lot of these players from Drypeek. Actually, I've seen a couple pretty insane pistol rounds, at least in the last the last series that we ended up seeing from them. But not going to start off right. The 5-7 though, tapping away, actually working out for a frag. And what is going on, boys? What is going on? The sidearms working out for 2 kills early on, and the advantage is back for the Eco.
L1 has a weapon recovered, but look at his HP, and he's far away. Another duel here. Up towards the platform, Sluggy needs to work forward. Do they fall back here? Options are still down, but that molly, drops straight down to the floor. Deals some damage to himself, and another pistol picks off a frag. Now it's just 2.
No.
Isaac, Sluggy, they found space, but their team is falling all around him. Sluggy cannot even get one. Gank gets his, and well, they have been activated now. Drypeek is not happy. Someone pissed him off. They are here to play now. We'll hear him shout him for the first time, I think, all day.
Oh, man, you can't, just straight up, you just can't be losing those, right?
No.
They saw the whole situation, and just against Deegs. It's gotta hurt, and it's not even that bad either, right? It was almost the same situation that we saw the CTs lose to. A whole lot of 1v1s.
But still, it's on the run on effects. Yeah. Their loss bonus won't be as good because they won that singular isolated round.
Yeah, they did.
They lose this round. The Eco starts looking rough. It'll be 13. I mean, this is starting to get to dire straits, and this round, it's probably the decision.
This game can go in a lot of different directions. But more than likely, CTs can succeed. It's only 3 rounds away and early on.
What about I'm useful trash? Because even if he has times where he's not
that was pretty useful.
He's useful. That's a very useful frag. He has good utility as well.
I think so. I think so.
We'll have to pitch it to him after this match.
We'll talk to him. If he wins the tournament, I feel like he should or at least wins anything. Wins anything.
I'm useful.
He's useful.
What's the?
That's like a banger tweet. Like at one point, like he wins the major, and he tweets out, "I'm useful." That would be crazy.
1 major. I'm useless trash. 0 majors in L1. Okay, I thought he was gonna get away with 0 kills there, but the trade's good. Stays 2 versus 2, but look at the damage done. Tatum's on 1 HP. Heretic still healthy. They also strained on the angle. It gives away its position. The rotates start to come on through. There's a backstab. There's a flank. This should have it locked on down. I'm useless trash. He found the opener, and he's about to find the closure. Bomb not to come down. And neither will the round. Strong out of Drypeek.
Very useful, my friend. Attaboy. 2 kills on the rounds, and with the flank at the very end, Drypeek. Yet another round where they're able to pick and prod at that early approach. Heretic's Daycare. Now they're starting to run into a brick wall back in ramp. Where else can they even go at this point? Because we're starting to see more flexibility back over towards stairs, but Vertigo's not really a map that we've seen too many teams start to go for defaults. Is that what the T side has to do?
I mean, the default just looks different, right?
Oh no, they're just going for it. Look over towards stairs. It's gonna be 4 players out. I'm useless trash. He backs out. He's down to 24 HP, but he's done damage, but not enough. Isaac On his way out with a Ferrari peek, he ends up getting a kill off that Tech 9. Nade goes in, but it doesn't hit. And not only that, but the bomb goes down. Not a lot of money was invested whatsoever for this terrorist side, and they're going to come out of this with an L, but certainly with a W in general. Bomb goes down, cash is back in their pockets, but the CTs have doubled their scoreline.
I didn't see where that initial damage came from. Was there a nade thrown ramp off the rip from the side anchor?
Yes.
Of useless trash? That's what it was.
Yes.
All right, so good damage found by him, and then you just have like the firebombing of utility to come in off of that. 2 HEs. I think 1 kill and finalizing the damage onto the other players. Drypeek clean up off of it. Now this is another tipping point. Because if you lose this round for Heretic, the game's pretty much over. You're going to be fighting from 15. Your money's going to be cracked. This one's needed. It's another pretty standard round. Control over towards the ramp. 1 lurk up towards mid. And pressure on the stairs. But unlike their opponents, they haven't found success early on these ramp fights. And Gank.
Gank.
This position.
It's got to be it, right? Gank. Surely find 1 or 2 here. The op goes out. Chippy helping out. Ken's doing the same. And Gank has the angle from behind. The call for Drew and Sluggy was that they were going back in construction, but instead, the 15th round secured for Drypeek, and it all seems to be going smoothly for him.
Smooth as could be. Look at the money now. They have guns, but the utility around it, it's suffering in a big way. They've been trying to take control out towards this ramp practically every round, but it's never being allowed. Shut down off the push. And now with desperation, they lean towards B.
Ken's getting started off right. There's a smoke in his face. And he's just going to monitor this scenario. The rest of the terrorist players, though, bit of an unfamiliar spot. Back over towards stairs, but hello, Tatum. Off the lurk. Gets a kill into Ken's. Can he make even more damage? Again, no T players are around Tatum. Tatum is just here to be a nuisance. And there's just a whole lot more time on the clock. Construction open. Will it be the peak? It's a peak from useless trash. People are going out over towards stairs. Tatum gets another kill. They can actually abandon this, but they don't need to. Heretic gets a big kill onto useless trash. Chippy is the last one remaining in a 1v4. And it looks like Drypeek, they're going to have to play a little bit more Counter-Strike.
A little bit more Counter-Strike to be had. There we go. Op recovered save to come on through. It's just quick pressure out towards the B site. And this time, there was a difference maker. I'm useless trash. Really didn't find too much in the round whatsoever. Normally, he gets a couple kills, gets some damage, something. He makes himself of some use before he falls down on that site. But this time, he died quickly. And that makes the retake infinitely more difficult. Well, now it won't even be attempted. Still for Heretics, that round's good. Won't be enough to establish themselves. They just need to keep building. 1 round at a time. That's all they can be thinking about.
Op will be saved up. We're not going to see really this economy become too much of a nuisance in this round. It's just going to have to be the redistribution early on for Drypeek. It is kind of interesting to see that single op back in the other round. Or excuse me, the double op. But more importantly, we're seeing it again. They opt to go for it again. Ken's the last time he was on the op. Did not find success back over towards ramp, but for good reason. That was Tatum. And ended up doing big things. This time it's a lot more scattered of an approach for the T side, though.
Scattered indeed. That control has been taken early on as they continue to inch up. But Chippy this time on his mid-hold. Get a bit more aggressive in the fight. That'll be found. Gank takes the first slug, though. He's good for the trade. They gain space off of that. Advantageous for the T's in the end, but still a risk factor to these players remaining on the ramp as the push is coming through towards the lane.
Oh, no.
And L1 wins it out. Now the scale's tipping.
Heretic.
The space is being retaken. Heretic finds a shot, but cannot get the second. It's Ken's. Instead, this might be the end. 2 more players to fight forward. Isaac's just not looking. And now it's 1. It's Drew, but he has the flank.
Drew Sarah! He runs right into the crosshair of L1! And L1 more than ready for it. And again, they have masks on, so we can't really see a reaction, but you can tell physically that they are calm because the job is not done. Drypeek 1-0, and they are 1 map away from Grands.
But as we hop on into things, it could be the end of the road for Heretic's Daycare, or it could just be the beginning of a beautiful 3-map series. The T side is where they'll find their start. As Drypeek look to form the defense this time towards upper.
Block train out, and it's certainly going to do the damage that they want, but oh, is it the one that they need? Yes, it is. Ken's back over in heaven. You were worried about him for a quick second. They had the 2 picks on site. Useless trash could definitely open things up, and indeed does. 2 kills for him, empty in the first sight. 45 HP left. He wasn't able to do too much out of that, and Chippy with 12 has to run out of the smoke completely dry. Heretic's Daycare, they had the whole situation on lock for the last few frags.
That they did on a lock in the round. It was just a quick hit up towards, well, that upper sight, couple flashes above, and they run it straight on through. The trade game, that's what's won out on top. Previously, on that first day, we saw Heretics winning a lot of these games off of just superior firepower, right? They have some strong fat fraggers. They have some ex-Prem players. They have some high-level guys.
I mean, that's this team in general, right?
Yeah.
Heretics Daycare is that mixed team. They're
but
not
it wasn't
exactly a
happening
team.
in that last game.
It seemed like it. It seemed like they were a mixed team in some of these moments, and to be completely honest, but now at this point, hello Tatum. It's going to be able to get the 2 frags. L1 and useless trash. Does also have to come back. The Mag 7's not going to be able to do much about it. And just like that, the round's already over. We can focus up on what is yet another pistol round for the CTs coming up next. Going on into the next, again, we have to focus up on just those USPs in terms of the actual approach. Of course, there's nothing much to actually talk about, at least off towards this map, in terms of just the tendencies from Heretic's Daycare. Really going to start to look out for Sluggy on this map. Sluggy alongside Tatum. 2 players that actually came into mega effect when it came down to realistically any retake back up towards that B site. They're just going to have to be the linchpins back up towards the choke points to even make it towards those spots. But again, the T players are not going to have to worry about those contacts at all because, again, it is a stack outside. Back over in AC, the T players, they have full control there.
Full control indeed. Now when it comes to retakes, USPs, well, the hopes, they don't look too high for this one. Everyone is just stacking up outside, maybe just trying to work this more for exits. It's the mega high-low, and Heretic might walk straight into it.
Has to be a couple free frags for Heretic, right? That Mac 10. It's the only reason why that gun was even bought up. It's the only reason why that gun is specifically in this position. Just looking to stack up cash, and there you go. Extra kill bonus for Heretic going back. Can he make it a 3rd? No, he can't. Chippy still finishes him off, but it's going to have to be the clean out from the T players.
No.
And no. We can still get... Oh, no. The Galil ends up getting picked up. I was about to say, the USP runs out of ammo, but he still ends up picking up a rifle that's 2 kills that simply was not necessary for Heretic's Daycare, but they're still able to win the round anyways. And not only that, but they still have a whole lot of economy. We can start to focus up on potentially the AWP. Does it actually come out on any player? No. L1 doesn't actually want to invest into it at just about 5.4K. We can move on into the next round with a T set it up instead.
T set it up. We'll have to see how much it can find. It's a good opportunity to get things going for Drypeek. Oh, let's talk of Drypeeks. It's over aggressive. Shot is missed, and let's take advantage of useless trash to find that frag. Is L1. They'll tuck close. Try and play off of this smoke. The T's, they're just trying to maybe hit once the smoke fades, work their way towards ramp, but they continue to dwindle in numbers. Useless trash takes his 2nd in the round onto Drew.
Dog peeked out for L1. It's just going to have to be a gap that simply doesn't have a pixel for it. This is good, though. Little by little, chipping away at ramp position that the T's haven't actually broken into just yet. But mainly for good reason. Ken's playing up on an AUG. The scoped weapons, a bit more common on this map, in fact. Good to actually say L1 Ken's playing a bit safer just off of those spots. And honestly, just wouldn't be surprised if it ends up coming up to more effect over towards the outside area. Have to keep going towards this round, though. 45 seconds left. The Riflers, they actually opt not to go back over towards ramp. And as this happens, more positions are getting retaken by the CTs.
More positions indeed, but in this close corner, one plays tucked high and low. It's a strong setup to hold, and Chippy almost finds the first. Tatum on the trade back, though, but he'll fall in due time. Gank to deal the final damage. This AWP is already in the back lines. Useless. He's got it. Dead to right. Sluggy alone. There's just no chance at this one. Drypeek, they come back. And they come back strong.
Simply said, just a clinical win for a lot of these players. They had the right A setup, back over towards ramp. They just have that one pick and they immediately back off. On Nuke, don't really think that that's the right direction to go in, but the way that they were playing it, they already had the insurance back over in basement. They already had 2 players. holding up the middle of sight. Can they do it again? Do they have the same contingency plan? The T side, they are breaking through in more areas. One over towards the outside area. Drew Zera does at least place down a bit more presence, but that's all that you can really say for this T side. They haven't broken through anywhere, but they can certainly get some shots in their own spawn. Heretic with a huge shot onto useless trash through the door.
Through the door. That shot is found as no doors are really open in this round. Oh, one, he'll post. Og in hand. And the elbow shows. It's not a hand. Can he find it? Not quite. Spray not there as L1 will show his position, but in that corner, time.
Time is still certainly on these terrorist players' hands. L1, he's just going to make it even worse for his team. Oh, my word. They had control of the outside scenario. Same thing with the inside. You could almost predict that they're just waiting up in lobby for that type of approach. The AUG doesn't work out, but Ken's still going to be able to make one. Isaac drops down in a heap, but again, the CTs, they are still planning up on actually going down over towards that base in the area. Chippy, he's the one still over towards Squeaky. He's the only person down in Squeaky, as finally his teammates do begin to finally drop down into vents. Bomb goes down in a 3v3 post plant. This could certainly get fun. Sluggy does have the off angle just around the corner, off the stairs. The first contact is with Heretic, and they're going to have to battle for this. Two players going out. The pop flash goes in, but Sluggy does not get flashed, and he continues to spray, but misses out on the shot. Heretic needs a no-scope, but Ken's is still going to be able to get the frag. He's down to 20. Drew picks him out in midair. And it looked easy at the end for Heretic's Daycare. They had the right setup, and Drypeek, they run into the meat grinder.
They were unstraight on through. Now the energy is starting to come back for Heretic. The trash talk is flowing back into the mouths of these players as, well, the T side seems to be their place of success and control out towards the ramp and drop down below. It works wonders. Now, where do they set this one up? Smokes for outside, and that's where the majority of this team is headed. 3 in that direction is, there actually isn't a full wall of smokes just yet. They're fine to take these duels. Pop flash across, find the space, but they have pacing, and it's just Ken's to contest, only an op in his hands.
Ken's going to be able to get the first. Can he make it a second? No, he can't. Heretic still picks it up off the AWP, and it's not exactly an over-encapsulating win. There's still a whole lot more control, that these Ts need, and they're going to start it off right. Heretic with a frag onto vents. Do they even know that someone is in the middle of that site? Or even contingent on being around it? We'll see. L1 setting on top of Rafter. Does have at least that back marshmallow to deal with. Sluggy is here, though, and spots out the off angle. That angle is so important, and it's gone down in an instant. And just like that, the linchpin is gone. The T-side do have more control. Heretic could be able to find another kill and essentially guarantee the round. The shots don't connect, and Heretic stays alive at 9 HP. Gang trying to go away, but Chippy ends up taking one back. The trades are so good, and he's made it possible. A 1v1 against the 9 HP Heretic. Heretic with the op, and he can't nail the shot. Chippy, a 1v3 with an SMG.
That is ridiculous to be found just at the time he was needed most. Around it looks impossible, and it's turned upon its head. Heretic's Daycare.
Welcome back.
They just got schooled.
Holy. It's kind of what you expect from Daycare kids, though. Like, you can't be that hard to try to teach them new things. That one's a bit different.
He makes it look easy. Nice little lesson.
Yeah, that's the first time we've actually seen a full B approach. So, yeah, we're learning new things. We're learning new paths. For Drypeek, again, this is just a reawakening because they simply did not have a chance going into the rest of that round. They were already thinking about what was their pistol buy going into the next, but instead we can go on forward. Look at this early approach back over towards the lobby area. Heretic's Daycare. They have one on top of Marshmallow. Heretic looking out for that outside cross.
Yeah, look at this money, though. They have nothing, really. It's pistols, and they forcefully into this. 2 rifles, and it's Sluggy and Heretic who are prioritized. Where are they set up? Where can they try and shine? It's Heretic up top the Marshmallow. He'll work to hold this flank. His team will group with him as that second rifle will fall back. Post for outside smokes. They're going again towards this outside area, but they have to pass Ken's. Up in hand, smoke should cover, but still, always a chance if you can catch this man top Marshmallow.
Whole lot of utility in that outside area, but not a whole lot of an approach from realistically anyone. The T's, they're regrouping back over towards the A site. They have one person back in their own attic, throwing out a bit of utility, but it's not going to be enough. The MP9 goes out, gets to Tatum trying to help out, and he does actually get to at least make things a bit more even. That bomb dropped into Ven, actually. Heretic wants to go get it back over in secret. He can at least try for it, but L1, he had to cross back over towards the outside. And Gank gets the last kill. Drypeek back into it.
Yeah, Drypeek is continuing this train on the move. That was the NC4 spine. You see the punishment onto Heretic's economy. It's down to the drain. Blocks across the board. 1-2 P2 Fitty. Invested up for Sluggy. As Drypeek, point of success seems to have been just their ability to play the retake as well as this kind of early information they've gained outside. It's a rather passive setup they're holding everywhere, right? That ramp player can fall away easily, stay out on the site, but if you're up top, you're locked in, and you got it on lock. Tatum is alone. It's a 1 versus 4, and he's already known. Round done and dusted. But there's money to come back on through, and with that, there's a chance. I mean, Heretics, they found control towards outside the majority of the rounds that they want to go for it, so maybe that's an opportunity. Smoke buy, you got one for every player on the squad. I imagine they do go outside off this.
I mean, the last time that they even had utility and an opportunity to go outside, they didn't really commit all too much. But they did at least have utility to just stay there and have a person there. And indeed, they're doing the same thing. It's a whole lot of utility for just a single person. He's just making a whole lot of noise. What a peek from Kenz. If Kenz had gotten there in a full take, my, oh my, that would have been sick. But instead, L1, he has to deal with a ramp put. All 4 players coming out for that terrorist set. And indeed, they're going to be able to succeed in taking down L1. They can go down ramp if they want, but they still want to fight ladder.
They still want to fight this Isaac. He'll stay posted, the Hell player. Starts to tuck in, but look at the backstab. They found that kill outside to push deep through it, and now on useless trash, he's straight behind him.
Oh, but they have 3 people looking at it.
So prepared. That's huge out of Sluggy to find it now. Where do we find this in towards the mid-round? 3 left alive on the CT side. They need to push for info somewhere. 1 deep back towards the spawn. It's not the op. Chippy instead on the rifle, and he's tested. Wins out above it, so odds are even, and this is going towards A. The shot won't hit through the smoke, and Ken's, he's shown his position, but now another wrap, this time through the lobby.
All 3 players for the CT side in completely different spots. Every choke point getting covered up by this blue side. Let's see if the red terrorist side could actually try to hold this. Isaac has heaven. They do have 1 person back over towards Mini, 1 in Hut. You do have to watch out for that early peek coming out from Sluggy. Sluggy out, same thing with Heretic. 2 players going down in the CTs, have it all. Gank, Chippy, Kenz, all in their 1v1s. And Drypeek make the 3v3 look easy.
Simple as that. A round to be picked on through. Drypeek, this momentum is continuing to come through, and in that round it was off, again, the claiming of information, especially towards outside. It was 3 smokes for that outside cross with 1 player, and only 1 player to follow it up. It was an attempt at a fake, a bit of a lurk forward, put him down secret, then split from the ramp, but as soon as that player dies, I'm useless. He pushes all the way on through and is able to confirm that round. Now 5-4 in the round count. 5-5 in the player count. The pistols, that's the one thing, not quite even. And these guys, they're just going to get mowed on down. The techs hope to find some damage, but won't just yet. Sluggy does still have the AK. Suppose he has a chance with it, but he's still out towards the lobby, smoked off, and has to get past L1's op.
No one nails the first shot and can certainly get a little bit more. It's the first time we've seen this man on the op. And in good positioning too. Ken's out. He ends up getting 1 kill for his own, but the Tech 9 overwhelms. Just in the direction that you like to see it, and oh.
Top rope.
There you go, Ken's. Yeah, you like to see that. 6-4, you finish off the scenario early. It is actually quite interesting that we're seeing multiple oppers from this Drypeek team, or multiple people pick up the opping role at some point for this team. At least let's see how L1 is going to continue to actually hold up this responsibility. The rifles do come back over towards this round, but Heretic's Daycare, their approach over towards the outside area specifically when it comes to the long-term action, well, hasn't been great.
Has not been great too much whatsoever. This one's quick out towards the lobby. How does that shot not connect? I think it was maybe moving just a hair and it misses on out. Sluggy, good to confirm off of it. A huge early advantage for the T's, but what they have in players, they lack in space. But still, there's time to get it. 1 out towards garage. That's the only hold. So Secret is wide open. Good chance for a split in the op boost. That's great. Now, ramp will be secured. Down towards the lower, they trundle. Kens might just want to be a save, to be honest. With already a 5 versus 3 on the retake and utility, they have util. They could go for this, but they need something early.
They have cash. They have positionings. Let's just see how this works out then. Let's just see what the kind of just the process is for the round, because yeah, if they do have to commit to a retake.
I mean, look, despite the momentum, their money's still on edge, but they should confirm it. They're sending it. They're going for it, but I'm useless. He is trapped now.
He's dead.
Yeah, and it's only him. It's over.
No save. But still, the cash is going to be fine for at least another round. At least. I'm sure they're going to be fine for at least 2. But Heretic's Daycare. Just what you like to see, especially early on. They pick up the first 2 frags and they have full free real estate. We just have to see that same setup again, though, because again, was still scattered, was still slow, and that was still Drypeek allowing those early battles to be had.
Double over towards Mini. They can hold outside. The smoke should cover the nade. Oh, not quite. Flames are extinguished by the smoke as well, so now this lower side is secured. One man to contest, so it's Kens, and he gets away with it.
Ken peeking out the other side. Sluggy looking for the frag and finally finishes it off, but not without a little bit of CT coverage. One person already here. I'm useless. Tragedy ends up getting found out, and Sluggy has the angle. Good adjustment back from Sluggy, and the CTs, they've lost this side control.
Gank will re-clear deep towards lobby. I think this time for real, they're just going to set up for the save. Look how crippled that money is. Lost bonus isn't great. They'll only have 1 round's worth. It's over. Evened out at 6. Good start for these Ts. Of Heretic side and outside seems to be their golden ticket.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to actually getting trades, when it comes to utilizing that spot as, you know, such a consistent fake. And then, yeah, it has been good for them. At least in the last 2 rounds, though, we have seen, again, just different routes being used for that outside area. Don't really know how the rest of the CT side is actually going to react to that. Are we going to see more aggression back over towards lobby? Are we going to see a change back in mini, especially throwing out early mollies, trying to cut off smokes, trying to see if they can find gaps through it? Because desperately, I know for sure, Gank, Kens, they are ripping their hair out at the moment, trying to find these frags back over towards the mid side because they're not finding a gap. They're not finding timing. They're not able to get any sort of space.
Nothing has been given away for free for these guys. It has been an uphill battle, to say the least. Again, it's going to be that pressure towards the outside, but this time it's countered with aggression from the CTs. One man posted close on T-Red. That blue box provides sanctity in the push forward.
Oh.
Well, that's not quite as safe. Isaac, what a shut down towards Kens.
Oh no, and because of that L1, he's forced to go out too. Behind Red, and he gets destroyed by Tatum. Tatum wide swings, and that's a bullet to the head. The terrorists for the 3rd round in a row start off with 2 entry frags. Another 5v3. Could be made into a 5v2. It's a crossfire in mid. Gank actually peeks out the other area. Isaac most likely going down to this trade here from Chippy.
1.
Oh my god. 1 HP. Poor Chippy.
101 HP versus
Ouch.
300 in the odds of this game remaining. But as long as you get 1 here for Chippy and find the information, that's huge. Is he here in time on the other side of Decon? Here's it. Can't find it. Drew takes a shot. Now it's just I'm useless. Let's see some use out of you now, buddy. 1 versus 3.
Surely the gap
2
was
on the
found.
other side. This is being held for. Ooh, information given for both sides. That's the save. He wants to hunt for more, run away, fake it out. But listen to that time. It's already ticked so low. The utility suboptimal to say the least, and the opportunities non-existent.
Yeah, he already faked his walk away, so I mean, if anything, we're just looking for exits. Useless trash. Gets that smoke cleared out, holding up in vent, gotta be able to get 1. That's gonna be the extent of the damage. So the penultimate round of the half coming up next. And again, I can still say with certainty that this CT side, they are almost desperately trying to find new ways to try to approach this setup, because again, that outside spot, or that outside process, it looks so forced, at least from Kens and L1. And speaking of force, this is a bit weird. Down to a half buy, most of these CT players are going. It's going to be Scout and Pistols.
Kens with the scout. outside. They know how much of an issue it is, but they've yet to really be able to shut it down because the T's always keep other options. And yeah, inside, that's fallen apart. 2 down already. 3rd round in a row now, where it's been a 2-strong advantage early on for this T side.
Ooh.
But at least for them, they can walk away with 1 trade. That's all it will be. That advantage of 2 stays up. Second fence, checked. Done and dusted. Tatum, that is a swing and a half to find. Is Heretic, he'll close that one on through. They invested a little bit into the round, but the Vile still be here into the 15th.
So here we go, the CT side on such an important round. Again, I would have just said save for the op.
But how much has the op provided them in value? Most of these fights have been
True.
taken. It's the close angles around the smokes outside. It's the defensive inside. I mean, the op has not been finding the same value it did back on Vertigo. So here on Nuke, I don't hate it.
You're right. No, you're right. The ops are very good on this map, but not very much in the hands of these CT players just yet.
It's not working. It's not working. Doesn't matter meta. When something goes wrong, fix it. And that's what they're attempting to do. Nice wall bang. Drew. I'll walk away with a scratch on his back as this round's a bit slower. They're trying to bait out aggression from these CTs, but it hasn't been given over just yet as I'm useless. Has to get down with that boost. They know that the ramp position is clear off that sneaky positioning, but Heretic is still taking his time on the clear. The flash doesn't connect, but Sluggy doesn't need it.
Well done. All that swing from Sluggy. Sluggy has been an entry demon as far in the last few days. You can pretty much trust Sluggy to at least get 1 kill out of a sticky situation, at least make things even. The gank, this one's big. He's going to be able to find suit back over towards lobby. It still has a 3rd and an off angle. He could flip this round entirely, and indeed he does. Gank, the massive 3K in lobby. He shut down the round entirely for the terrorists. Isaac and Sluggy, the last 2 remaining, trying to find a perimeter, trying to find a gap back in, and they can't. Isaac has to brute force his way back into Squeaky, but there's a player there to cut him off. 8-7, and that was salvaged up by the CTs, and of course the Ts later on.
Salvage indeed. You take a look back at that one. It was 1 man on a mission, aggression. That's what we talked about as a win condition for these guys because of the amount of space that was garnered early on for Heretics, and that condition is met now for Drypeek. This pistol round will be of the utmost importance on that T side of this map. It can be so easy to punish momentum. That's exactly what Heretics looks to do as they start their way on the CT side. It's going to be 5 strong towards upper, working their way immediately towards ramp. Sluggy, a lot to do, not a lot of space to do it. But look at the wrap already coming through Heretic.
Yeah. Heretic's on his way through, but Sluggy, what a huge headshot. And he's still lining up more. Isaac here to help. And he's able to get some decent damage, but not enough for the frags. Tatum here, at least with 1 trade. And that's all he really needs, right? Because Heretic is there on the flank, like you mentioned, and he finally capitalizes on L1. Gank looking for a 1v3, and he's already down to 17 HP. Heretic's Daycare. They start off things with a bang, and now we have to look over towards that T side. Do they force up into this?
They do seem to.
They are.
Invest on in. Tech9's a little bit of utility. They're going all in.
All right.
This is a gamble and a half. They lose this. Heretics will claim 10. Economy will be completely reset. I mean, they'll be playing from probably an 11-7 deficit.
Most likely, Heretic's Daycare. It's a long road. Oh my god, but it could certainly become a faster road. Sluggy's going to be able to get 1, but there you go. Bomb going all the way down to the basement, just be able to get a little bit extra cash for that terrorist side. So there you go. At least you could be trusting the fact that Drypeek got their objective out of this round, but they still have a buy to use. They still have guns to use. Ken's up top of the P250, waiting for people to actually come out. Window's not being watched at the moment. It would have to come down to Ken's, and indeed he's going to go down forward. Should be going out. And ramp, and he's down and out for the count. 10-7 is going to be our score line, but again, the terrorists go down into the basement. They get the bomb down. 600 extra cash for at least one of those players, 300 extra for the rest, and that's just some extra utility for a team that desperately needs it.
Desperation indeed, as there will not be a reinvestment quite yet. They're going to concede this one. Give Heretics that 11th. I think, again, the goal here is bomb plant. Maybe another attempt at that
full
lower
half by
hit.
here.
Yeah. They're running it. Probably an attempt towards that vent. What can Heretics do to stop it? Molly, player position close. They've slowed down the offensive. Oh, they even have someone in the vent.
Yeah, that's good.
I want to see the funny. Pull out that knife. Let's see it. Have some fun.
The funny backstab off of someone dropping in.
Surprisingly effective.
Well, we've seen it done multiple times in pro games.
Who said human
yes,
ever brought
BM.
you anything?
Yeah, for sure it's BM, but actually.
But it's also a money machine. 1,000 per thing. God. Tatum, fade in there, just piling through. Bomb is down in a precarious position. L1. Come on, go vent. Let's see it. It's not happening.
Anyone go into vent?
Not today. The Deagles. Oh, they found their mark. We're into a 2-on-2, and now a 2 versus 1. It's just Drew to clutch things up. A duel queued up for him is Chippy. He'll tuck in. The bomb needs to come down soon.
He's trapped.
But he's trapped. You're right.
Trapped in the back, 48 HP, and just this chip damage being done off of that A1S. It's just going to make things so much worse for Chip, and there you go. No pun intended, but again, tap after tap, the chips come through. Juzera ends up winning out that battle, but again, now we look at not just the battle, but the war, ladies and gentlemen. Drypeek, they're looking to close out this second map, but they are under. But they could certainly start their way back with this next round. They're about to get reset, though, if they lose.
Tough prospects here on the line as smokes will come towards outside. They haven't contested this area just yet. There's actually aggression on the other side. Heretic, he has an off in hand. He's close on the angle. That's a gamble, and, well, it swings the wrong way. The roulette wheel against him.
Is he even going to pick it up?
Probably not on T side.
No, that's actually, oh my God, L1 has just gone through over towards Mini. Drew hasn't spotted him, and the rest of the T's are already through.
Close.
They already have full
Drew
control
will have
anyways.
no idea.
No idea, and it doesn't really matter, right? Doesn't matter at all. Bomb goes down. Drew, Tatum, and Sluggy.
And you save these.
Very low on economy, and yeah, I was about to say. Save has to come in. These are good exit positions, though. They want to fight for the op, though. Yeah, these are good exit positions. They know the op was down outside, which I think is what L1 in a way is playing for, right? Because if they try and regress outside, grab that op, maybe there's a chance he can cut it off, but it won't be happening. Bomb to detonate, 5 left alive, not a lick of damage dealt to these T's. This was the round they needed to flip the script back towards their favor. Oh, that helps. Are the T's even gonna try to go for the AWP? No, they're not.
They don't really have the money to try and go for exits whatsoever, and they're too far away. They don't want to risk these guns.
Not very well done,
the
though.
Guns are more valuable, and it's T side, right? Their strength is in their pace, and the op, it was hitting at times, but it was never a consistent force for them. So I understand why they're not picking up. It's a similar story to what we were talking about in that first half.
Similar story just individually with L1 not picking it up on his way over towards Mini. So a lot of the situations that we're seeing the T's put themselves into are simply ones where they're the ones trying to shock the system. They're the ones trying to get up close against Heretics and just trying to put barrels to heads. This one's a bit different, though. Look over towards that outside area. There is a bit of a discrepancy. There was a molly placed up on top of that roof. I don't know if Mini just didn't land that smoke or the gap was intended by the CTs. Whatever it may be, Drew's going to be able to get one through that gap, make it a second off of Isaac. No, L1 takes it back, and the T's have the advantage instead. Oh, Tatum!
Oh,
Tatum! Out of nowhere!
How does he find that? That's massive. Still, it's not over, but it's looking closer. Heretic, he's burning. In the fire and the flames, he cannot survive. But Chippy, oh, Chippy, this damage is done. Sluggy doesn't quite have the angle. He's heading his way. He can either go up heaven.
Oh, this could be fun. Chippy. He won't spot it out earlier, but I was about to say, could he take that off angle back over towards heaven? Just try to get a one-tap onto a Sluggy that would totally not be looking over towards his angle, but instead, Sluggy is playing this as safely as he could ever be. 100 HP left on the man. He has a smoke, a nade, and a flash. But look at this. I didn't mention that Chippy could come up from behind. Coming up over in lobby! And Chippy nails the shot with 11 HP. Drypeek put all their hope on one man. And 11 HP only. And he pulls it off anyways.
The big brain, the big plays, the wrap all the way on through. Around it almost got fumbled, to be quite honest. Drypeek were in a good position from the start, and things started to slip on away. Some huge individual plays, but they win it out, and that's the breakage point. Heretics reset down on towards the pistols. Drypeek, they are nowhere near out of this game.
No, Heretics Daycare, it's just starting to get worse and worse for them here on this CT nuke side. Decent attempts off the lobby push, but again, it's the first and potentially last time that they'll try it. At least off of these pistols, Gank 88. going to be able to get the 2 frags back over towards Secret. And there you go. Exactly what we expected. We just need these guns to stay in the hands of the T's, though. Gank. He has been the one off that entry, and more importantly, has been peeking out these off-angle spots. Sluggy and Drew, the last 2 remaining, with upgraded pistols, yes, but again, it's just going to have to come down to the exits. Finally, this is where things start to get fun. Both teams are reaching double digits, and we're starting to see Drypeek start to get a little bit more aggressive. That last approach that they even went for, well, it could have been a bit risky depending on the stack, depending on the defense, but it didn't matter for them. They're going to maintain it flawless.
Yeah, nothing should be able to get done here. Sluggy, he'll get shut down. Drew, no one's coming towards his angle. CZ into the next round. And Money beginning to build back in. Drypeek take another round. This is the first time where they threw basically a full execute outside. I like in the anti-eco. Play your trades. Don't get caught up in the close corners. Don't walk into a mag 7 in hut. Nothing sneaky can happen with those outside hits. But reinvestment is here. Heretic, his op has been doing pretty good. He's been struggling on these rounds where they're stuck in with the rifle, but the op, it's had some good moments. He looks to find another here as it'll be invested in. 2 Famai though, so the weaponry is still slim down as Drypeek. Smoke it off. Yeah, no chance for that angle as they're again working outside, but this time a deeper set of nades. This might allow a wrap in towards, oh yeah, they might split this towards A.
They're thinking about it. They could definitely try to go through mini, but again, they do have one
garage?
person over towards mid.
Drew.
There you go, Drew. Sitting up in garage, waiting up for the cross. Only going to be able to get 1. Can he make it more? 46 HP. No headshot is taken. The damage is done. Still a 4v4. The T's have full control back over towards the outside area. We don't actually have anyone for that CT side. Back over in Secret. So the T's, they have a lot of leg room, except for the fact that Isaac likes to peek these. Isaac out in window, at least taking down 1. But still, the prospect of a 3v3 could actually scare these T players a little bit. They have not actually made their approach yet, but they have a lot more time to actually pull it off. Chippy out of nowhere. The CTs get antsy. They end up pushing out the situation in lobby, and out goes a quick kill. You have to watch out for Heretic. Heretic over in hut. He tries to get the wrap on onto Chippy, and Chippy is all too ready. 2 kills for Chippy. Sluggy, oh baby, 1v3.
Does he take this Squeaky or hut? If he goes hut, there's a huge risk. Already players posted, and now Squeaky's being watched as well. No clear angle in. Right? They know about it. Chippy's ready. There should be no way, but he's looking to make it possible. 2 pieces of utility left. Flash, smoke, it's what you need for a round like this, but it's double up top on hut. I'm useless. Close. He's cleared though. Sluggy wins it. Surely not like this, Chippy.
Oh,
Chippy. You don't expect the second in that position. You can hear the laughter. They were a little nervous for a moment. Sluggy made it look doable, but it won't be enough.
Yeah, that is that's copium. It's a coping mechanism entirely. Laughing off awkwardness, right? Such a weird scenario for this team, but okay, yeah, they do land on their feet. Most likely going to make this a lead. Pistols on the other side of the server with a deco by. It's not exactly going to lead into too much off of these rounds from Heretic's Daycare. We've seen a lot of pressure back over towards the ramp side, but not so much outside. And that is that change. That actually leads into the first frag. Drew picking up an AK-47 off of a dead body, but as this happens, Tatum goes down to gank. Not only that, but most of the CTs are actually getting plugged out of the A site very early.
Plugged out indeed.
Heretic
blinded up. Can't find anything. There's a moment. There always is that moment. Second where you think something's possible, where the impossibilities can become a reality, but that's not today, Sluggy. Maybe let's do more than shoot the weapon. Recover it instead. That he will. Falls away with it. Takes it towards the neck. Diffuse kit, armor, AK. Not a bad haul.
Not terrible. But it is still bad. Not exactly an efficient round for what was still a half buy. They would want more picks out of this. At least 3 realistically would be mission accomplished just to cover up the rebuys. But dude, this T side economy, it's just gonna keep getting better and better. Is Chippy about to reach max? He is. 1,600 bucks. And the wallet of Chippy, and Chippy, he only has to rebuy L1 at this point. This team can just continue to roll. If Heretics loses out in this round, I struggle to find a way that Heretics can reset and easily, or at least feasibly, find a way back into this game without having trouble with their wallets.
I will eat the cardboard of this market.
If Drypeek gets reset.
If they actually take a timeout.
Oh,
I don't think it's happening.
Really?
But I want to see it. I want to see a timeout so badly. Most of these pug squads never do it, but here we go. They don't want the reset. They're going to get aggressive instead. Heretic walked up close. It's a strong angle. The hold. Is the timing right? No.
Again.
L1 the shadow advantage. The frag to come on through. Is there a trade? Yes, that's good.
Finally.
Brings it back under wraps for the CTs. They're still in this round, especially with
Sluggy.
this anchoring on the ramp. Sluggy takes down 3, not quite the 4th, but he should have done enough. It's 1 man on useless trash for the 1 versus 3. He chips down a singular HP off of Isaac.
Oh.
Flash. Oh, it's just impeccable. Burn he may, but the round comes back. No tactical timeout needed. No bucks to be eaten. 12 to 12 is where we fall.
Yeah, I just know, I just have no clue how that happened. Every round that we've seen a CT push outside, they've died without a trade. In the run round where a trade actually happens, they end up winning. But not only that, of course, Sluggy, back to his old antics. He has ramp completely on lock. Well done at least, but you can't exactly rely on that every round. But Drypeek, they might just be doing the same thing. A couple players going back over towards the lobby area, but no utility actually out. Sluggy can't actually react. So he goes back down. Smoke is up in the same spot. Heretic, he goes out in lobby. Excuse me, not lobby, out in ladder. He ends up taking down useless trash. This is a standstill for Drypeek.
They have to respect it. We saw the punishment last round, but in respecting it, they have to take space elsewhere. But Sluggy plays around the smoke to perfection, takes his frag in the trade. It just hasn't come.
Oh my
Sluggy,
god.
he claims another monster on the pit. His slime spreading across.
Bomb down.
Do a 2 versus 4 on your right. Bomb outside possession. The recovery should be free. The slug.
Oh.
He's still here.
Come on, buddy. Sluggy.
I don't think he can contest the bomb, though.
No,
Probably should. That's greedy. And he falls for it. Now a 2 versus 3. A 2 versus 3 that's winnable. No one is at this lower site. The rotates are coming quick on the backside.
Yeah, rotations are good, at least in terms of monitoring the situation.
So
but
slow.
nobody else is actually watching the ramp cross into sight. Isaac is going to be the only person that's going to be able to punish maybe. 30 seconds left. Tees off to go back towards stairs. Isaac and Isaac invents. Isaac invents. Gonna peek out Chippy. Chippy goes in and picks up the all-important frag. But watch out for the 2 CT players, both coming out over towards ramp. Heretic and Drew Zero are both out, and they have trapped this last player. L1 cannot go anywhere off of this. He pulls out the flash. Both players watching up the lane. You have one player back over towards window, but he would need a headshot. He actually does nail one. Chippy, he has the off angle. Heretic has no clue where he is. Does he nail it? Out he goes, 44 HP, he drops to the ground, Chippy misses! Heretic!
Oh,
Somehow
no.
able to salvage the shambles! Oh my word, 13 to 12. And Heretic's namesake, can't believe it.
Shambolic. Chippy had that in the palm of his hands. It was the round that they needed. It was the round to
That
regain
drop,
momentum, and they
though.
lose out on it. The momentum stays back into the hands of Heretics. The drop not caught in the round. That goes the way of Heretic and his boys. Where do they take it now? The investment's still here. There's some moguls on that squad. The money will stay up, but it's starting to run towards that dry position.
Early utility, and Kenz is going to try to negate it. There you go. Kenz is on through to Secret.
That's so much damage.
54 HP or down to Vents. Gank actually picks up the kill into Drew Zera, and out goes the route. Back over towards B for a couple of these players for the T side, but are they actually going to execute off of this? Sluggy going in, going to be able to pick up at least one. No, he's not. Gank goes out and picks up the 1v1 against his opponent. That's 2 kills for Gank thus far in the round. And for the CTs, I struggle to find a way for them to get back into the site.
Do they even go for this? I don't think so. Op in hand to Heretic. You save these, but the thing is, there's extra money for the T still. They can hunt this. And I'm useless trash. He's going for just that, working his way through the big garage. Who's going to get cut off? That's Tatum, who should fall if he over pushes this, but he might actually catch a hunter instead. Hide and go seek. Or is it seekers hide? Maybe. Gank takes one as Heretic will fail the second. Can they actually pursue this? Oh, he's stuck. Heretic's in such a bad spot. Bodies don't matter for the T's. Killing Heretic, that's the only goal. And they accomplish it. That's huge for this attacking squad, because now they punish the economy. Op's not going to be able to come back out. There's no good loss bonus. The roads.
Oh, but this affects so much more, right? Because I mean, we've been talking about how well this team has been trying to play up with tempo, how well early on in some of these rounds they've been able to stop Drypeek in terms of their actual tempo, in terms of their actual route. The one round where we didn't see that was actually probably in that last round where someone was actually able to go vent. This time, though, without any utility whatsoever, nobody from Heretic's Daycare can delay that time for these crossfires, especially Sluggy, who has been actually quite the superstar back over towards his ramp position and his one solo smoke. But instead here, this T side doing something that is quite common, at least off of these anti-ecos, literally chilling. Back over towards the lobby side, waiting up for an approach, seeing if any of these CT players do want to do anything underhanded. But indeed, they won't. At least most of the CT players won't. You do at least have Sluggy waiting up in secret and could actually find a pick or two back over towards the outside area. There goes a couple of smokes, but two of them land in the exact same spot. Well, that's just kind of a dead giveaway that this isn't an actual push. Instead, the rest of the T's back over towards lobby. L1 does win his battle against Sluggy, and actually a second one against Heretic. Tatum and Isaac, or at least Isaac, hello. Flanking out towards that back line. Isaac's going to be able to get one kill onto Kent. Can still pick up an AK-47. Tatum is still in heaven, but actually, no, he's actually dropped down. And he's totally dead. L1 stat padding, 3 kills for him on the round. And Isaac needs to back up with an AK and absolutely nothing else. Now, realistically, this is a good save, purely because, again, the rest of his team can already rebuy. And we can start to think about some of those AWPs that this team does actually desperately need, especially in the hands of Heretic. But no exits are going to be, or one exit is going to be have, and instead, Isaac is going to go down. So that AWP can still be put back, at least in Isaac's hands. But 14-13, Drypeek, one step away from Grand Finals.
They're almost there. This is the final hurdle. At least one of the last ones if this team wants to make it there. But Heretics, there's an entire track ahead of them. A few more laps to run the final map. Still a possibility for them to garner as they look to stand tall in this one. Heretic shows his op with a shot outside, but that's not where these T's are headed. The pressure is largely towards inside, and Squeaky, that looks to be the goal. 4 already posted up, and down through the utility they go for spray. That's fantastic. Tatum finds one, falls away as Isaac takes blood as well. It's a double for this man. Tatum works strong too. A duo on the site. 4 in the round, but Ken's no way. Surely not like this. So 1 versus 5. Oh. He can't win this. He can't win this. The HP is so low, but he looks to give it a try. Drew and Sluggy.
Sluggy's not going to peek out. Ken's, if he wants to cross, he absolutely can. And he will. There you go. That was the one thing that could have made this round possible. More breathing room. Just space for Ken's to try to act. I don't think double door is open, though, and indeed it's not. Ken's is still restricted on his options. 3 kills already for him. Can he make it a 4th? Sluggy around the corner. Gonna be able to get that first headshot. Peekaboo, says Ken's. Can he get another one? Drew trying to go for the defuse, but he doesn't have a kit. No kit on Drew. How is there no kit on Drew?
There's no time.
Oh my God, there's no time! There's no time!
Surely not. He's done it. Ken's just won it. That's an ace clutch.
That's an ace clutch!
He doesn't get the last kill, but does it really matter? Because the time was
That's a 1v5.
He used it as a second. A 1 versus 5. People from the crowd are getting up to fist
There you
bump him.
go.
They're getting into it. Oh my God. You've got to feel crippled if you're on Heretics because you just gave away
everything.
1 versus 5. That's
a 1 versus 5.
Yeah, that's probably Fragadelphia over for you. Off of a 1 versus 5. That is heartbreaking, but still, 2 rounds.
Mentally, where do you go from there? They could certainly try again. Heretic on that front line with the MP9 looking to shock the system, going in with a flash and with a smoke, but can't do anything else. Heretic goes down in a heap. No trade comes out. Drew Zera on the other side of the map, though, is going to be able to get a kill over towards the outside area. And not only that, but nobody else on the T side is going to be there. Sluggy with the MP9 with a bit of damage and a whole lot of damage at that. Tatum can certainly get more and try to make this possible for the CTs. Instead, it's 1 kill, and he backs out immediately.
3 versus 3 here. What's spacing looking like for the T's? Now follow it together. Work as a group back towards lobby. Where does the wrap end? It's man down lower, man outside. And 1 second vent. These CTs are so isolated.
This is just so safe, though.
It is.
Every single CT is just playing safe right now. The player in basement, Isaac, he's playing contact ramp.
They're just praying
Tatum's
for
playing
the
outside
1v2s,
contact. Yeah.
right? You hope to take Chippy down with you. Find a second. You're good then. You've got yours. Your teammates can play from the advantage, or at least even the odds for them. Information, that's the name of the game. Does anyone push for this? No. That's crucial. They're not.
Utility is still very much good on this T side.
And the other side, not so much whatsoever.
Exactly.
3 pieces left, 2 flashes of smoke. That's it. If this falls to a retake, it's going to be so difficult for them. That means the pressure. It's on Drew down below.
25 seconds left. It's not Drew, it's Isaac. Isaac backing out into ramp. And he's going to make this a retake for this Heretics Daycare team. Oh, my word. He actually goes out. 10 seconds left. Is he going to be able to get one? Yes, he will. Can he hold on to even more time? 6 seconds left. Bomb going down in the middle of smoke. Isaac spraying away, but not going to be able to get the kill. 2v2. Chippy on 5 HP. Ken's at 100. Can the CTs break through? One gust of wind should do it onto Chippy. Ken's holding on to ramp, but can't get the kill. But Tatum and Druzera split up apart. Chippy on 5 HP, and he gets surrounded. Drypeek with Drypeeks get it done. And unfortunately, they have to keep going. My boy, Heretics Daycare.
30th round secured here. Between these two teams, it's been close as could be thus far, and it looks to find itself even closer. Overtime on the line here.
It's just the setup that they had right. It looked just about fine, but the CTs, man, again and again, they're starting to find some magic in these early 1v1s some way, somehow.
And it's crazy, right? Because we set up the win condition for the round as the player lower getting kills. Nothing
Yes.
came of that.
And
Nothing
same thing
came of that.
outside.
They
Same
won
thing
2
outside.
versus 3 off that retake. Insane to find it that way.
Oh,
An ace clutch,
look at outside.
2v3, and you're right, outside. They're going quick. This is a vent drop. 1 lurk upstairs. You
No
hear
smokes.
the comms coming through.
No
They're
smokes.
aware, but there's no smokes. It's just duels, and Gank wins
No
the
smokes.
first. Isaac on the trade back through, but they've already made it.
Well, somehow they end up getting a kill out of that, and somehow only one person ends up dying from that whole interaction. That only smoke, it came out so late.
Oh, look at the damage as
Back
well.
over towards single box, and indeed, damage has been done. Let's slow it down a bit because Isaac going back over in lobby, and he runs into L1. Tatum, he has 2 targets here. Is he going to be able to get the first? Yes, he will, but can he get the second? Gang coming out of another angle and shocks him. 15-14. And it's a 3v2, an advantage to try to push that to a W.
Final legs for this team. And it's a retake. Look at the utility. It's an op. It's 1 flash. That's all they have. It'll take another miracle. But miracles, they might not be created every day, but this team, they can find their magic. And
Heretic, he's
gets
getting
top.
pushed.
He needs it.
Is Heretic going to get pushed? Gank was thinking about it, and Gank is going for it. Oh, boy, Heretic. If he can't find this kill on the back line, okay, there you go. He can actually go out. He can actually try. Druzera has to get this kill in the middle of sight, but he won't get it. Ken's with the off angle, and Drypeek make their way to the grand finals at Frag.